Intrigo by Håkan Nesser, translated by Deborah Brigham-Turner and Paul Norlin, read by Sean Barrett with Kate Rawson. Tom. Part 1, Maardam, 1995. The telephone call came a few minutes after 3:30 one Thursday morning. The number was unknown, evidently foreign, and under normal circumstances she wouldn't have answered. Clearly she wouldn't, but she had just woken with a start from a dream, and although it was pitch dark inside the room and outside the window, where a branch of the huge walnut tree whispered intimately against the glass, she felt wide awake. Maybe it was just the dark, in some kind of mysterious pact with the rudely interrupted dream, the contents of which she was unable to recall, either then or later, that made her lift the receiver and take the call. "Hello? Judith Bendler? Yes? It's Tom." Silence ensued, apart from a slight interference on the line. A faint thrumming scratch, barely audible, like spent waves breaking on a pebble beach. Afterwards, once she had replaced the receiver, that was what she could picture in her mind. After their long journey, the waves finally coming to rest, a silent white foam in a sheltered but stony cove. Strangely enough, she wasn't often haunted by images. She didn't fall for that kind of cheap analogy, or whatever it's called. She wasn't religious, and she detested poetry. "Tom?" she eventually asked. "Which Tom? Do you know more than one?" She thought about it. No, there was only one Tom. Had been. "I thought maybe we could meet. It's been a few years." "Yes." She felt a shudder sweep through her body, and perhaps even lost consciousness for a moment. Had she tried to stand up, she might well have fainted and hit the floor. But she didn't, thank goodness. She lay in the dark on her side of the king-sized bed, and when the brief attack was over, she automatically reached her hand out for Robert. It took another second for her to remember he was in London. He had left on Monday and would be back on Friday evening. Saturday afternoon at the latest. It was a film project. He had mentioned the names of various famous actors, but she had forgotten who they were. He had even asked if she fancied going with him, but she had said no. London was not one of her favourite cities. "Hello?" She suppressed a sudden impulse to hang up. "Yes?" "So what do you say?" "About what?" "About meeting." I don't quite understand." She could hear him drinking something. "You know what? Think it over and I'll get back to you in a few days." "I don't really think—" There was a click and the call ended. She put the receiver back and lay on the bed without moving, her hands clasped over her chest. She closed her eyes, but then opened them again. There was something she needed to figure out. The slow waves that still seemed to emanate from the darkness must mean something, she thought. They would reveal something to her, and whatever their significance, it involved distance. An inordinately vast distance in both time and space. And not only that, his voice was still there, deep inside this fog, so distant yet so utterly close, slightly gruff and slightly— well, what? She thought. Ironic? Confident? "Tom, think it over?" She counted up and concluded that it had been 22 years. 22 years and 2 months, to be precise. The therapist was called Maria Rosenberg. Her rooms were on the second floor in one of the old Pommerstone houses on Kimmerstraat, and Judith Bendler had been one of her clients for almost a decade. Not endless, heavy sessions, it's true, but they met once or twice a month, usually on Thursday mornings, when Judith generally had things to do in the centre of Maardam anyway. Afterwards she would enjoy lunch with a friend, take the opportunity to do some shopping, and maybe spend some time in one of the galleries in the Dijkstraat district, or Kranz's antiquarian bookshop on Kupinski Street, if it happened to be open. The train from Holtenau took just over half an hour, and with each year that passed, she was aware of a slowly mounting reluctance to leave their beautiful house, and its even more beautiful garden by the river. Why?
Sample complete. Ready to continue?